So things will I'll explain you on this whiteboard only. Okay, so let us start with studying the diversity. Okay, so basically this is a biodiversity. So this is a biodiversity. Now, what do you mean by biodiversity? What is the meaning of biodiversity? Yeah, are you there? Chalo bolo, what is a biodiversity? So you know the most important characteristic of human being is they respond, they react, they communicate, they interact, they feel, and all these things makes you as a human. So tell me what you mean by biodiversity. What is a biodiversity?
Variety of plants and animals
Yeah.
present around.
Yes, yes. So it is a different varieties of plants and animal or different species, living organism. It doesn't include only plants and animal. It includes bacteria, it includes fungus, it includes yeast, it includes mold, it includes protista. So as per the Whittaker Spike Kingdom classification, which is the most popular type of classification. So right from bacteria to the humans. So humans are highly developed animal, and the variety of these animals present on the earth is a biodiversity. Now, somewhere in 12th standard, you will understand what about the Robert May. In the ecology topic, you will understand Robert May estimated, and you get question on this. So you give heading diversity in the living world. Under that, you give heading taxonomy. So I am going to teach you the details of this taxonomy. Okay. So what Robert May estimated, Robert May was a scientist. He's a great scientist in ecology, and he estimated that on the earth there are 7 million species are present. On the earth there are 7 million species. And now what our NCERT is saying, if you open up the book NCERT page number 6, yesterday I told you highlight that. Okay. So if you see the number of species that are known and described, known and the species that are described, कितने species है ये? Known species out of estimated, he just estimated कि अर्थ पे इतने सारे मिलियन स्पीसीज प्रेजेंट है, उसमें से हमने कितने एस्टिमेट किए हैं? In the range of what? Your NCERT on page number 6 is mentioning that
1.7 to 1.8 million.
1.7 to 1.8 million species just we have discovered or we know, and we describe the details of this 1.7 to 1.8 million. But Robert May, he is a great ecologist, और उसने बोला है कि नहीं 7 million species अर्थ पे present है. मतलब हमें कितने परसेंट? So we just know about the 30%. If you see 1.7 to 1.8 out of 7 million, so that just makes a 30%. So we just know about the 30% of the species. अभी इतना 70% डिस्कवरी होना बाकी है. So there is a huge scope. Okay, if we consider Robert May's statement, and if that statement is true, then we just know about the 30% of the species, and hence we need to study this taxonomy. So taxonomy is a fundamental branch of biology. So you give heading, you keep writing up whatever I am saying, you keep writing. And if you have made the scientist page, the way we are generally doing, if you have made a scientist page, then on that page you must write it down. Robert May estimated 7 million species. We know only 1.7 to 1.8 million species. So this is important. Okay. So this is a fundamental branch of biology, where we understand what we understand in taxonomy, what we study in taxonomy, we understand or we find out or we describe the unknown organism. Taxonomy में हम क्या करते हैं? हम unknown organism का identification, nomenclature, classification करते हैं. So we identify the unknown organism in this taxonomy. Okay, so taxis. Taxonomy is made up of two words. It is a taxis and it is a nomos. Taxonomy. Taxis, that means arrangement. Taxis is a arrangement, and nomos by rules, by law, by system, we do the arrangement of this particular new species or new organism. Are you getting what is a simple, what is a taxonomy? In taxonomy, that is an arrangement of the unknown organism into the particular group, accepting the rule, laws and system, what the system is saying, what the universal authorities are saying. Okay, so वो क्या है सब हम लोग यहाँ पे स्टडी करें. Are you getting what is a taxonomy? Any doubt with this? Yeah?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. So the word taxonomy has given by the word taxonomy. Again, the new scientist, the word taxonomy is given by A.P.D. Candoli. The word taxonomy has been given by this A.P.D. Candoli. He was a Swiss botanist. He was a Swiss botanist, and the word taxonomy first time used by this A.P.D. Candoli in his book Elementary Theory of Botany. He used this word taxonomy for the first time and mentioned this word in the book written by him, that is the Elementary Theory of Botany. So again, the name of the scientist should go on your scientist page. Okay. Now we started studying biology during the period of Aristotle. Aristotle, who started the study of biology 384 BC, approximately 2500 years before. Biology is not very new. We started Aristotle got attracted with this all biological entities and he started studying this biology, right?
मॅम आणि इंडियामध्ये सर्जरी डेव्हलप केलेली ना सुश्रुत महर्षी.
येस आपण ते त्याच्यामध्ये वेगळा टॉपिक आहे तिथे बघू. इथे फक्त मेन्शन करा, कन्फ्युज नका होऊ कारण इथे भरपूर टर्मिनॉलॉजीज येतील. सो सिक्वेन्स मध्ये फक्त हा खूप थेरॉटिकल आहे, तुम्हाला समजणं इथे जास्त महत्वाचं. ओके, सो ही वॉज अ Aristotle who started studying all these biological entities. Now while studying this taxonomy, we must include the three sequence, और ये three sequence पे आपको question आता है, which are what is the correct sequence. So when we are doing taxonomy मतलब आपको unknown organism को identify करना है और उसको एक particular group में रखना है. Okay, now supposing when I say dog, you just imagine the features of the dog. So immediately आपके सामने dog का एक picture आ जाएगा and you will keep that dog into the group called as which group? Birds, mammals, reptiles, किसमें रखोगे?
Mammalia.
So you will put that dog into mammal. Understand, supposing you are seeing that animal for the first time, तो आप क्या करोगे? उसके features identify करोगे और उसको group में रखोगे कि ये dog की category में. And that category is into the mammalian group. Okay, so that way we are generally doing the taxonomy, and you get question on the sequence of taxonomy. How should we go, or which are the three steps in the taxonomy? So the first in this is the identification. We are going to see each step one by one in detail. So identification. Second is a nomenclature. And the third is a classification. These are the three steps in the taxonomy, and you should write in this sequence only 1, 2, 3. ऐसे ही steps है taxonomy का final. So finally you will classify. Supposing now आपको डॉग पता नहीं, आपने डॉग देखा, यू हैव सीन दिस, सो आपका आइडेंटिफिकेशन क्या होगा? तो दिस इज अ एनिमल. So every time, in every step, you are observing certain characteristics. Okay. So say if you have identified some plant, okay, so you will keep them in the plant group. ये plant kingdom है. Further, what you will see, whether the plant is having flowers. So if the plant are producing flowers, then you will keep into the angiosperm group. So that
Then
is what is
ma'am,
the
for further
identity.
division,
Yes.
we will check whether the seed is dicot or monocot.
Yeah, so whatever characteristics, so you first will identify and you will put them into the particular living है, non living है, plant है, animal है, angiosperm है, gymnosperm है, bryophyte, whatever animal है तो insect है, mammal है, reptile है. So that is what is the identification. So what feature you are observing here in the identification? Some different characters. So every time you are observing some characters and you are getting some clues. So here you will observe certain characters. So certain characters are necessary for the identification, right? Certain characters are necessary for identification. Now, when you go for the next step, that is a nomenclature. Nomenclature में see naming ceremony and nomenclature ceremony are two different things. अपना जो होता है naming ceremony. नाव ठेवणे बारसं हो की नाही, नाव ठेवण्याचा कार्यक्रम नेमिंग. नेमिंग इज नॉट युनिव्हर्सल. आपल्या आई वडिलांना, आजी आजोबांना, आत्या मावशीला जे काही नाव आवडलं त्यांनी आपल्याला नाव देऊन टाकलं. सो वॉज इट हॅव्हिंग एनी युनिव्हर्सल रूल की असंच नाव ठेवायला पाहिजे, तसंच नाव ठेवायला पाहिजे? तर नाही. सो दिस इज अ नेमिंग सेरेमनी. नोमेनक्लेचर when you are saying nomenclature, that should be as per the international rule. There are some international rules given for this nomenclature and that should follow these international rules. Okay. And finally, when you are classifying, supposing you have seen dog, you say it is an animal. Okay. So it is an animal, then you will nomenclature, it is a dog-like animal, and then you will classify it is into the mammals. So every time you are observing certain characteristic and this gives you a description. All these three stages gives you a description of that particular animal. So you will classify like it is a mammal or it is a bird or it is a you say angiosperm or you say it is a reptile, this type. So that is final classification. You are coming to the conclusion कि ये mammal है. यहाँ पे तुमने क्या देखा, ये animal है. यहाँ पे you have identified certain characteristic, उसको nomenclature दिया कि ये dog है. International rule. Dog is our English language. It is not a nomenclature. It is a name given to that animal in local language. And then finally you will put in to the particular group which the characteristic are suited. Because see, you have 1.7 to 1.8 million. तो हर एक एनिमल को कुछ स्पेशल नाम देना इज नॉट पॉसिबल. लोकल लँग्वेज में इन्सेक्ट, आता प्रत्येक इन्सेक्टला आपण वेगळं वेगळं नाव नाही देऊ शकत. ओके. सो वी आर putting them into the group. So individual name is not possible and so we are putting them into the particular group and hence that is what is a classification. Okay. So all this gives a description of that particular animal, or when we are using the characters and describing that particular animal, that is what is a characterization. काय काय सांगितलं कळलं का आता? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
फक्त ईश्वरील कळतंय, बाकीचे कोणीच नाही क्लासमध्ये? 10 जण.
Yes, ma'am.
येस, मग येस म्हणणार आहे. यू आर लिव्हिंग, रिस्पॉन्ड,
माईक
कम्युनिकेट.
थोडा दूर असतो ना म्हणून माझा आवाज कमी येतो, तो मग जवळ घेऊन बोलावा लागतो.
हा मग जवळ ठेव ना, त्याला अनम्यूट करून ठेव जेव्हा बोलायची वेळ येईल. का तुम्ही ऑडिओ आणि व्हिडिओ बंद करताना मला खरंच कळत नाही. एव्हरी टाइम आय कीप ऑन टेलिंग की बाबा एकदा तर तुमचं दर्शन द्या. मला तर काही काही लोकांना मी पाहिलेलं पण नाही या ग्रुपमध्ये, आठवणार पण नाही समोर येऊन बसले तर. मग ते सांगतील की मॅम मी कौस्तुभ आहे, मग मला कळलं रे हा कौस्तुभ आहे. ओके. चलो ठीक. So that is what is a characterization. So you understand what is a characterization. So description of the organism by the use of character is characterization. Description of the organism. Description मध्ये काय आलं? Identification, nomenclature and classification. So taxonomy is a new term. Taxonomyच्या आधी जी टर्म होती ना, that was a systematics. मला या दोन्ही टर्म एनसीईआरटी मध्ये मिळेल. You have to read this topic. मी त्या टॉपिकला पॉइंट वाइज एक्सप्लेन करायचा प्रयत्न करते. ओके, स्लाइड मध्ये आय वॉज नॉट सॅटिस्फाईड. I thought I should explain it. Okay, so systematics हा taxonomyच्या आधी होता. So it was before taxonomy this word was existing. Taxonomy systematic पेक्षा this is new, नवीन आहे. Systematic is old. And this systematic word was again given by Linnaeus. Systematic word was given by systematic word. लगेच तुम्ही सायंटिस्टच्या पेज मध्ये जाऊ द्या. Word is given by Linnaeus and systematic ची definition was given by Simpson. NCERT ने हे सायंटिस्ट मेन्शन नाही, Linnaeus मेन्शन केलं असेल. Simpson, I don't think NCERT has mentioned, but yes, question can be asked as systematic has given by NCERT. तो अपन जे म्हणतो 10% भटके हुए क्वेश्चन, 10 to 20% भटके हुए क्वेश्चन in NEET. So they can be this because you are studying systematics. The word has been mentioned by NCERT or somewhere you can find in exemplar. काही गोष्टी NCERT ने नाही दिल्या पण exemplar ने दिल्या आणि म्हणून I said की exemplar ला पण वाचा. NCERT and exemplar is your Bhagwan book, your God book, your Bible, your Gita, your Quran, whichever holy book you are preferring. So that is that book, NCERT and exemplar. All right. So systematic का definition दिया Simpson ने, systematic words दिया Carolus Linnaeus ने. ठीक है. Now फिर systematic और taxonomy में क्या difference आया? ओके, सिस्टमैटिक और टैक्सोनॉमी में क्या डिफरेंस है? तो सिस्टमैटिक वाज रेफरिंग टू डाइवर्सिटी, डिफरेंट प्लांट्स और एनिमल लाइक ग्रुप, एंड इसमें बेसिकली रिलेशन आया इवोल्यूशनरी का. तो इवोल्यूशनरी रिलेशनशिप हैज बीन स्टडीड इन दिस सिस्टमैटिक्स. इवोल्यूशनरी रिलेशनशिप को टैक्सोनॉमी में प्लेस नहीं दिया था, बट इवोल्यूशनरी रिलेशनशिप एंड दिस इवोल्यूशनरी रिलेशनशिप इज नाउ कॉल्ड एज फाइलोजेनी. तो दैट इवोल्यूशनरी रिलेशनशिप को जगह मिली सिस्टेमैटिक्स में. आर यू गेटिंग? तो पहले आया सिस्टमैटिक, बाद में आया टैक्सोनॉमी, एंड नाउ वी आर रेफरिंग टू new systematics. New systematics is dealing with taxonomy plus phylogeny. मतलब क्या? New systematic is dealing with taxonomy and phylogeny. म्हणजे काय कळलं आता? किंवा modern taxonomy, new systematic, or it can be the modern, it can be also the मॉडर्न टॅक्सॉनॉमी. जे काही चांगलं आहे ते घ्यायचं ना, हो की नाही, आणि त्याला कंबाईन. हायब्रिड म्हणजे काय? हेच असतं ना, दोन चांगल्या गोष्टी कंबाईन करायच्या आणि हाइब्रिड फॉर्म करायचे. सो दिस इज अ न्यू सिस्टमैटिक जिसमें टैक्सोनॉमी को भी ध्यान में रखा गया. फाइलोजेनी मतलब इवोल्यूशनरी रिलेशनशिप इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट, उसको भी इसमें ध्यान में रखा गया. एंड द टर्म नाउ इज अ मॉडर्न टैक्सोनॉमी, जहां पे नाउ वी आर स्टडीइंग एक्सटर्नल एज वेल एज इंटरनल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक. पुराना जो था, पुराना जो डायवर्सिटी देख रहे थे उसमें ओनली एक्सटर्नल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, बाहेरून तो कसा दिसतो, मॉर्फोलॉजी त्याची बाहेरून कशी दिसते, डॉग सारखी दिसते की कॅट सारखी दिसते. When we say dog, we can picturize a dog in front of our eyes. When we say cat, when we say snake, आपल्या समोर ते पिक्चर येतात. तो ते फक्त एक्सटर्नल पिक्चर आता आपल्याला माहिती म्हणून. ओके, पण इंटरनल कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक पण स्टडी केले गेले टू फाइंड आउट द इव्होल्युशनरी रिलेशनशिप. तो इंटरनल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक नाउ यू नो लाइक से प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल और यूकैरियोटिक सेल, तो आपको उसको कौन सी कैटेगरी में रखना है. So external as well as internal characteristic were considered in modern taxonomy. पुराने taxonomy में only external features. Modern taxonomy में now it is a internal features as well. Okay. Yes. जैसे now you have a cytotaxonomy. Now you have so many branches in taxonomy as well. So supposing you have the cytotaxonomy, मतलब क्या? What is
Taxonomy of cell.
cytotaxonomy?
Taxonomy of cell.
Yes, taxonomy of cell, जिसमें सेल का पूरा अंदर का फीचर, सेल के क्रोमोसोम नंबर, ये सबको स्टडी किया गया. सेल का मॉर्फोलॉजी. So that is a cytotaxonomy. You get question on this. What is a cytotaxonomy? So study of cell और उसके अंदर का क्रोमोसोम, कितने क्रोमोसोम नंबर है. Now if you say the chromosome number in humans are
46.
ओए ईश्वरी, chromosome number in humans. No, I'm surprised. No one knows. आपण सेल पण केलं आणि सेल डिव्हिजन पण केलं. आणि आपण एक खूप मोठा चार्ट पण केला होता तिथे, कॅट, डॉग अँड ऑल डिफरंट एनिमल अँड व्हॉट इज अ क्रोमोसोम नंबर. No one knows. Chromosome number in human cell. बोला.
46.
Yes, 46. How many pairs?
23.
Out of that, how many are autosomes and how many are sex chromosomes?
22 pairs are autosomes and 1 pair is sex chromosome.
Yes. Okay, so that is what is a cytotaxonomy. The next comes is a phytotaxonomy. What you will understand by the word phytotaxonomy? Phytotaxonomy. Yes. It is a phyto meaning plant. So taxonomy, basically the biochemical properties of plants, is a phytotaxonomy. Okay. Chemotaxonomy. Chemotaxonomy. So our body or any cell is releasing different chemicals. So study of all these chemicals. Study of these chemicals released or chemical characteristic released by a cell or by the body is a chemotaxonomy. Numerical taxonomy. So where the different numbers are considered. Okay. And that gives you a numerical taxonomy. So what is the use of taxonomy in life? So to know the unknown organism. What is the use? To know the unknown organisms is a taxonomy. Okay. इसमें now we say that 1.7 to 1.8 million species we are knowing. Out of these, animals are, the discovery of animal is more as compared to plant. Plants discovered are very few. तो इसमें अगर देखते हैं तो 1.2 million animals को discover किया है and very few, only 0.5 to 0.6 million plant species have been discovered. Okay, if you get a question where you can find out the maximum biodiversity, this is your geography question. Maximum biodiversity, and I am not very good in geography. So what could be your answer? But इतना तो मुझे पता है. Geographical location, if you considered, where you will find the maximum biodiversity, that will be in tropical rainforest. You get question on this. Maximum biodiversity. Tropical rainforest. Due to more rain. जास्त पाऊस, जास्त झाडं तेवढे जास्त बर्ड्स, एनिमल्स, इन्सेक्ट सगळे तिकडे राहतील. सो लाईक अंदमान निकोबार,
अमेझॉन,
या अमेझॉन, आसाम,
वेस्टर्न
आपल्या
घाट,
इंडियातलं घेतलं तर आसाम, मेघालया, त्या ठिकाणी
वेस्टर्न
दे आर द
घाट्स.
ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट. सो वेर यू कॅन फाइंड आउट द
मॅम
मॅक्सिमम
इवन वेस्टर्न घाट्स.
Western Ghats. So you find there the maximum biodiversity. And second, first is in tropical rainforest, and second is a coral reef. Coral reef that is in water, where also you can find the maximum biodiversity. जसं तुम्ही स्नॉर्कलिंग केलंय का कधी? समुद्रात अगदी डीप ते घेऊन जातात, केलंय का कधी कोणी?
नाही, पण ओमान मध्ये कोरल रीफ्स पाहिलेत मी बोट्स वर.
येस. किंवा मग कुठे तुम्ही ट्रिपसाठी किंवा वेकेशन साठी कुठे गेला, कुठे समुद्र ठिकाणी गेला, तर तिकडे ते समुद्रामध्ये डीप समुद्रामध्ये घेऊन जातात विथ ऑल बायोसेफ्टी प्रिकॉशन्स, अँड देन यू कॅन सी ऑल दिस कोरल रीफ.
मॅम वर्ल्डचं सगळ्यात मोठं कोरल रीफ हे ना ग्रेट रीफ बॅरियर ऑस्ट्रेलिया.
या okay, so that is what is a first step identification. So considering all this in modern taxonomy, considering all these internal external feature, you identify that particular new organism, unknown organism. So taxonomy, to know the unknown organism, त्याच्यातला पहिला पॉइंट आपण केला आयडेंटिफिकेशन. Now you can consider external and internal. So this is a modern taxonomy. पूर्वीची टॅक्सॉनॉमी होती तिथे फक्त एक्सटर्नल फीचर स्टडी केले जातात. राइट? येस. नाउ सेकंड स्टेप इज अ, यू कॅन गिव्ह हेडिंग. सेकंड स्टेप इज अ nomenclature. Second is a nomenclature. Now what is a nomenclature? जसं मी म्हटलं. Next step, second step. Naming as per the international rule. Naming as per international rule. आपलं नेमिंग आहे, आपलं nomenclature नाही, आपलं फक्त नेमिंग. Nomenclature should be as per the international rule, so it should be universal. Okay? एकच नाव, ते नाव दुसऱ्याला कोणाला नाही. ओके? किसी एक को वो नाम दे दिया तो वो हमेशा के लिए उसका ही रहेगा. So initially there were the system which was a polynomial nomenclature. Polynomial nomenclature. Then it was a trinomial nomenclature. And now the most favorite is binomial nomenclature. Polynomial में मतलब क्या था? More than 3 words were given to name that. More than 3 words. A, B, C, D, E असं काहीतरी 3-4 नावं त्या एका ऑर्गॅनिझमला द्यायची. ओके, बट दिस वॉज व्हेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट टू रिमेंबर, व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट टू मेक द लायब्ररी ऑफ दिस. सो दिस वॉज रिजेक्टेड. But then somebody gave about trinomial. त्याच्यामध्ये पण ते 3 वर्ड जास्त होत होते. So this was again rejected. And now till today we are following this binomial nomenclature system. Now you know binomial काल मी बोलले होते. What do you mean by binomial nomenclature? What is the meaning of binomial nomenclature? काल आपण केलं ना, by is what and nominal.
2 words are included.
2 words are included. So first word is a
Genus.
yes, and second is a
Species.
yeah. So binomial nomenclature दिलं कार्ल वॉन लिन. आता ह्याचं पण 3 नाव होते. म्हणून ह्याने आपलं नावच बदलून टाकलं अँड नाउ ही इज अ कॅरोलस लिनॅइयस बिकॉज ही हैज गिवन बायनॉमियल सो उसने अपना भी नाम बदल लिया और उसने अपना भी नाम कैरोलस लिनैइयस रख दिया बायनॉमियल and now the most popular is a binomial nomenclature. Okay, now give heading binomial nomenclature. There are the rules. Okay, so give heading rules of binomial nomenclature. Rules of binomial nomenclature. And this has been given again. You get questions, so mention in your scientist page. He is a Carolus Linnaeus who has given this binomial nomenclature. अभी इसने कल मैंने बुक्स का पिक्चर दिखाया था, इसने प्लांट्स के लिए जो बुक बनाया, so he has written the book for plants and the name of that book for plants. You get question on this. Species Plantarum. And this was published on 1st May, I guess 1753. इसको confirm करो. 1st May 1753. This book was published. Species Plantarum. इसके बाद वाले सभी आपको पहले वाले जो नाम दिए थे, it was not like by this particular book. It was not following the rules of binomial nomenclature. And for animals, he has written the book. So you get question on this book. That is a Systema Naturae. Systema Naturae is a book published RAE Naturae. And again, you confirm this. I guess this was published on 1st August 1758. So पहले animal का, but this was the 10th edition. जो popular हुआ animal का, this was a 10th edition of this book. And इसके पहले first edition आया था, but it was not very popular, somewhere around 1735. तो plant के पहले उसने animal पे book लिखा था, but then popularize हुआ बाद में, plant के बाद में 1758. And species Plantarum को पढ़ के बनाया ICBN. Now you refer to page number 6 on your NCERT. And what is a full form? You get question on full form. Again, write in your neat point. ICBN का full form is, tell me, read and tell me.
International Code Botanical Nomenclature.
Yes, it is an international code for botanical nomenclature. International
आणि
code for
झुलॉजी साठी ICZN ना, इंटरनॅशनल कोड
सो
फॉर
हे सगळं
झुलॉजिकल.
स्पेसीज प्लांटारम वाचून त्यांनी ICBN बनवलं आणि ICBN नाव हॅज गिवन द रूल्स. म्हणजे जसं इंटरनॅशनल रूल्स जे दिलेत नोमेनक्लेचरला, सो प्लांटचे जे रूल आहेत ते ICBN नेच फॉलो झाले पाहिजे. आणि ॲनिमलचे आहे तो ICZN. Put all both of these short form in your neat important point. So that is the ICZN. It is the International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. ह्यांच्या पद्धतीनेच ते सगळे झाले पाहिजे. Okay. So what are the rules? Yes. What are the rules? So main rule of nomenclature. NCERT has mentioned. So there are 7 rules mentioned by NCERT. We'll put one extra, that is 8. That is also mentioned somewhere. But then these are the rules for binomial nomenclature. The first rule. First rule. Name of the binomial is equal to specific name. पहिल्यांदा लिहा. Binomial nomenclature म्हणजे काय? So binomial nomenclature is equal to specific name is equal to technical name is equal to biological name. Okay. Right? So binomial name म्हणजे तो specific name which is universally accepted. That is a technical name. आपल्या घरातलं पिंटू, राणी, बबड्या असं काहीतरी नाव असतं, पण ते शाळेत वेगळं असतं. शाळेतलं जे ते आपलं टेक्निकल नाव. ओके, किंवा आपल्याला त्या नावाने ओळखलं जाईल. सो आणि पिंट्या बबड्या हे फक्त घरातून. सो दॅट वे. सो स्पेसिफिक नेम is equal to technical name and this is equal to biological. If plant it is botanical, and if animal it is zoology. Okay. आता तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की स्पेसिफिक नेम मध्ये द फर्स्ट नेम इज जेनेरिक. काल आपण बघितलं स्पेसिफिक मध्ये द फर्स्ट नेम इज जेनेरिक and the second name is species म्हणण्यापेक्षा आता मी ह्याला थोडस पुढे जाते. ह्याला म्हणते स्पेसिफिक इपिथेट. म्हणजे आता आपण ज्याला स्पीसीज म्हणतो, पण जेव्हा रूल बनले तेव्हा इट वॉज अ स्पेसिफिक इपिथेट. ओके. स्पेसिफिक इपिथेट हा नाव नाही. दिस इज नॉट द नेम. This is not the name. It is only part of that name. It is only part of that name. म्हणजे स्पेसिफिक इपिथेट वर अलोन जर तुम्ही म्हटलं ओनली व्हाय इपिथेट, बिकॉज इफ इट इज अलोन इट मेक्स नो सेन्स. जसं लाईक सपोजिंग आपण मँजीफेरा इंडिका. काय मँजीफेरा इंडिका?
Mango.
Mango. It is a mango. Okay. There is a Rosa indica. Rosa indica. This is a rose. Okay. Then there is a Azhar dicata indica. Neem. See, AZARDIRACHTA. Azhar dicata indica. This is a neem plant.
इंडिका म्हणजे इंडियन ओरिजिन म्हणून?
नाही, the species as per the nomenclature we don't know what is the origin. So 1.7 to 1.8 आणि आपल्याला प्रत्येक स्पीसीजचं लक्षात ठेवणं सायंटिस्ट ज्याने डिस्कवर केलं त्याला पण नसेल लक्षात. We have a Tata Indica.
कार.
Yeah. So if I just say indica, it doesn't give you, or you cannot imagine कि मॅडम मँजीफेरा इंडिका म्हणताय की रोजा इंडिका रोज म्हणताय की नीम प्लांट म्हणताय. So that is the epithet. Alone it is not making any sense. And त्याच्याबरोबर जीनस असणं फार गरजेचं आहे. Okay, so that is just a specific epithet. So that gives you no sense. Getting it? So हा पहिला रूल झाला. It should be the binomial. It should have the binomial nomenclature. Okay. First is a generic name. Second is a specific epithet. Say specific epithet. Now we say it as a species, but while formulating rule, it was a specific epithet. Right? We'll meet up in the next session.
Excuse me, ma'am.